Welcome to Illustrator for Web Design. My name is Cheryl Graham, and I've been using Illustrator for about 17 years now. Hard to believe, and I've seen many changes and upgrades over the years. One of the major changes was, of course, adding features that allow you to use Illustrator for web and interactive work. When I first started using Illustrator, the internet barely existed, and nobody had a phone that would have been considered smart. So why Illustrator? Illustrator is an object-based vector design application, and on the web and other screens, we deal with pixels. So some would argue that something like Photoshop, which is pixel-based, would be a more logical choice. But Illustrator has many advantages over a pixel-based application. First, artwork that's created in Illustrator can be resized and repurposed for the screen with no loss of quality. Not all designers work exclusively for print or for the web, and I would bet that most do a variety of projects for both. And often you need to repurpose work that was originally done for print. Illustrator lets you easily rescale and optimize graphics for the web. Secondly, Illustrator is object-based. You can easily create and manage objects, scaling and moving them effortlessly on the artboard, and you don't need a separate layer for each object the way you do in Photoshop. And again, you can experiment to your heart's content without worrying about image degradation. Speaking of artboards, you can use multiple artboards in Illustrator to create the different pages for your entire site. You can copy and paste master items between artboards, and when you save your file as a PDF, each artboard is saved as a separate page. Illustrator is compatible with lots of different software applications, and in most cases, when you move Illustrator artwork into another application, things like groups, layers, and text remain intact and editable. Web technology is changing all the time. These days, we not only design for computer screens, but for high-resolution displays, such as smartphones and tablets. Illustrator is resolution independent, and as such, will always keep pace with higher quality displays. Lastly, let's not underestimate the comfort factor. If Illustrator is your go-to design application, you're likely to do better work with it without it getting in your way. You're watching this, so I'm going to assume that you have a working knowledge of Illustrator, and if you need to brush up, I'd suggest going through the 2 Illustrator courses we have here at Tuts Premium. This course is about specific things you need to know in Illustrator to use it for designing graphics for the web. It is not a design course. I'm going to concentrate on the nuts and bolts of all the web-related features of Illustrator, including the preferences, interface, color management, and image optimization that you should know when using Illustrator for designing for the web. I'll mostly be using version CS6, and I'll note whenever there are differences between it and other versions. So let's get started.